911 emergency, Becky.
My sister's truck is floating down the drainage off of Monroe. The cross street is Los Alamos, and they have babies in the car.
Okay, Monroe. Hold on, ma'am. Monroe and Los Alamos?
Yes. We're on Monroe, and their car just got taken down the drainage, and it's going to be going underneath the freeway in a second.
Okay.
And I stayed in the car with my baby, and my husband's trying to rescue them.
Okay. Okay. 2 babies. How old are the babies?
1.5 and 6. And my husband is probably swimming, trying to get them. I don't know where my husband went. He took off running to get them, so I can call you and stay with my daughter.
Okay, so your husband is swimming, trying to get them?
My husband's on foot, trying to rescue them.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to him.
Okay. Where are you right now, honey? Where are you?
In my vehicle.
Just so you know, I already have the fire department.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's okay. We're on our way to help you. Okay, I have the fire department on the way, and I have the police department going too. Okay.
When we arrived on scene on this one, we kind of got out of the rig and we looked and we knew that this was the real deal. It was very scary, and we knew that if this went wrong, that it was going to go really, really bad. So it had to be perfect.
I'll say an important thing to remember too. It's, the 3 of us are the ones that went in the water, but we couldn't have done what we did without all the support behind us. So there was 15 other firefighters on scene, including the ambulance company as well. Also, the police was there as well to assist on the rescues. So if we just jumped in ourselves to go and swim over and grab them, it would not happen. We would have gone down the stream as well. So it takes a big amount of support to be able to effect a rescue.
Scared, I probably was a little bit scared. Just that, when you're in charge of the event, at that point, it's a lot of pressures on you to make sure everything goes right. Our customer base expects us to be right 100% of the time, and there's no room for error in this business when you're dealing with life and death kind of rescue scenarios. So, it's the pressure of getting it right, making the right decisions, and then, when you go into the fast moving body of water, it's you never really know what to expect. So I could say I was probably a little bit scared, but I was confident. Once I got in the water and we kind of had our plan together, it just was all second nature. It was doing what we've been trained to do and what we get paid to do. So at that point, it was just going into action. But initially pulling up, you never really know what to expect. You can't visualize what's going on. And then for me, seeing those 2 little kids in the back seat, the pressure was on, and we performed well, and couldn't be prouder of the guys standing next to me and the job that they did, and everybody else, the PD, the rest of our guys and gals that were on the shoreline, making it possible. It's a proud moment, but I'll admit I was a little scared at first.
So on the day in question, it was raining. It hadn't rained a whole lot. We'd been going through a drought. I was actually off duty. My deputy chief and I actually called each other on the phone and decided that we were going to,
he's going to drive by and pick me up and head out. So we knew that the streams and the rivers had already swollen. What I didn't know is there'd already been one save made earlier in the afternoon. They'd been out at the same wash just a little bit farther east, and had been out helping somebody else out of their car because they'd made the same mistake and tried to cross that wash. You know, the reality is, like I said, if those are bread and butter, then you have to understand these aren't. We call them high-risk, low-frequency calls. That means it's a significant outcome if we're not trained and we're not operating well as a team. This is urban search and rescue team approach. In this case, it's called Swift Water. And I like to say that it takes a village in order to be successful. So while we're celebrating 3 people that really, they put their lives at risk. If you were to look on shore, you'd see people that were in command of the incident. You'd see people that were supporting the rope systems. You'd see even police officers that were on the bank working with the firefighters in order to operate those rope systems to ensure that there was safety and the leverage necessary in order to be successful. I was proud of them, not just because of the training and the fact that it worked well, but I was proud because the average person, it looks like, looked at that scene on the video, probably wouldn't see that there was anything that remarkable because they handled it so smoothly. The truth is that the undertow and the situations that can exist put that family at extreme risk. There's logs and branches and things that are downstream that if they had actually come loose or come out of the car, then they could have got what's called a strainer, and that would pull them underneath them. And that year we actually had several fatalities of people that didn't turn on the car as well. So they systematically made a plan between the 3 of them. They made entry, made contact, calmed the patients, and were able to bring them to shore. So I was just a safety officer on scene. I was the fire chief, they were in charge, and it was pretty cool to see all those people operating together. Like I said, it takes a village for them to be successful, and I was just a villager. They did some remarkable things, and so for them to be celebrated by the Rotary Club is pretty special to me because, again, I know just what it took to be prepared and ultimately what the outcome was.